Hi, this is Steven. Welcome back to Timeless Messages from the Ching. Thanks for tuning in. So, this is a basic video on your personal reading. When you schedule a personal reading, phrasing your question, and other areas that I wanted to touch upon briefly. So, when you're scheduling with me a reading, you're going to have at least one or more questions that you're going to want to have some guidance on. So it's very important to phrase your question very specifically. For example, if you're thinking about whether or not to stay in a relationship, it's helpful to have at least two different questions on the topic. For example, question one: what would my life be like if I stay in a relationship with such and such a person? Okay. Question two: what would my life be like if I am no longer in a relationship with such and such a person? So you're asking from different perspectives, different angles of staying or not staying in a relationship. And by asking from these two different angles, you can gain more perspective based on staying or leaving. And you'll make a more informed decisions. You'll make a more informed decision. The two question approach is good for any decision, such as staying or leaving, or moving forward or holding back, retreating. Moving forward and holding back or retreating are opposites. So you can think about your question in regards to a particular job or career, an investment, an upcoming opportunity, a vacation, a trip, a business partnership, a medical treatment that you're considering undertaking, a change of residence, a difficult decision, a change in the architecture of your home, and so forth. It's your choice. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to bring the most beneficial messages for your current situation so you can decide how to proceed through your current situation in a more enlightened way. And although I do give interpretation of the I Ching's message, the ultimate interpretation is always up to you and your higher guidance. The timeless messages that are provided during your reading are there to help you reflect upon and activate your always present inner wisdom. I'm going to read this once more. The timeless messages that are provided during your reading are there to help you reflect upon and activate your always present inner wisdom, because this is the source from which you'll make your best choices. With important questions, it's helpful to take time to let yourself gain many different perspectives and slowly arrive to your deeper understanding of the situation. Therefore, the process involves you taking time to understand and integrate the messages. So don't be in a rush. This is a process, okay? See how the messages apply and how your inner wisdom guides you regarding these messages and your current situation. So, a good question to ask yourself, not just with an I Ching reading, but at any point in your life, whatever situation you happen to be in, whatever context, the question is this: what does the situation that I find myself in now need me to do? What does the situation that I find myself in now need me to do? Okay, so this is the question to ask yourself in whatever situation you currently find yourself. So a lot of times we let other things guide us that unfortunately don't help us arrive to the best insightful decisions. So let's not let desire, expectation, dreams, and hopes for a particular outcome cloud our ability to see our current situation and what we need to do based on that situation. Because dreams and expectations, hopes and desires oftentimes are not lined up with what's really true. Objectivity is your friend, and the best decisions are made from understanding how things truly are rather than how you'd like them to be. With this in mind, you can approach decisions in your life in a more objective way. And also, when you get an I Ching reading, you can be more open to the inner impressions you receive based on the timeless messages presented here. So, those are some of the basic concepts I wanted to share with you about asking yourself, hey, what's the best decision for me based on my situation? Not based on, the fact that I'm a soulmate with this person, I'm meant to be with this person forever, or this is the best job for me forever and ever. And, those types of concepts get in the way. We lay those out there regularly, kind of in an unconscious way. And if we can stop doing that, if we can remember that subtraction is our friend, and if we can let go of those hopes and expectations, desires, and so forth, and concepts that prevent us from really taking a careful look at, hey, how is the interaction between me and this other person? Does this person feel good when they're around me? Do I feel good when I'm around this person? Do we have a peaceful, harmonious interaction, or do we seem to be arguing and tense and conflict quite a bit of the time? Other thing is, if it's not a relationship, let's say it's a job. You're thinking, this is a great job. I'm making really good money. It's my dream job. And so forth and so on. But and I'm meant to do this. And you have all these concepts about how right it is and all this, but you need to also allow yourself to just pay attention to, okay, well, but how do I really feel when I'm doing this particular work? And pay attention to that, because that'll be your guide, rather than your additional concepts that you lay out there that kind of affirm that this is absolutely right. And of course, no, there's nothing to be concerned about. And it's my dream career, my dream job, and so forth. And so what I'm trying to suggest to you is this: pay attention to how your mind clouds things for you and prevents you from really seeing things directly as they are. And try to get back to that point where you can actually see things in a much more direct way as they are, not how you'd like them to be, but exactly how they are. And that can apply to people that you're in an interaction with, a romantic interaction, a business interaction, a friendship, a family relationship, a parent, a sibling, and so forth. How are things really as they are, not how you'd like them to be? And if you can get that true image of how they really are, you'll gain more wisdom about how to proceed. Okay? So the other idea, to recap, is phrase your question when you do get a personalized reading very specifically. And oftentimes 2 questions are better than 1, because if you're thinking about continuing in a career, or continuing a relationship, anything you're thinking of either continuing or not continuing, it's really great to ask, well, what would my life be like if I continue with this? And what would my life be like if I don't continue with this? Then you get 2 different perspectives, and that will give you much more information about how to proceed. It'll probably help you make the path a lot clearer by doing so. So being very specific about your questions, and oftentimes asking from 2 different vantage points. Very helpful. Remember, during an I Ching reading, it is your choice about how you're going to interpret the reading. Now, I will give you my interpretation to the best of my ability to share objectively, but ultimately, it is your decision about how you're going to take the information and apply it. Okay? So you're the one to decide how to proceed through your current situation in a more enlightened way. And I'm here to help with the messages, and the messages to help inspire and to activate your own inner wisdom, which is the source that you will make your best choices from. And remember that this process, after you've gotten a reading, it takes time because you need to understand what the messages are trying to say to you. Sometimes they can be a little obscured, but I try my best to interpret these in a way that is as basic and understandable as possible. So that's an important thing to remember, is that the process of you understanding the messages takes time because oftentimes they're foreign, and then integrating the messages into your own current situation, how that applies as well. So pay attention, take your time to how the messages apply, if they apply, and how your inner wisdom guides you regarding these messages and your current situation. Now, everything takes time, and sometimes people, because they want to have more and more information, oh, I'll get another reading, or I'll do somebody else's reading, or I'll go here, here, and here. This again is a process of addition, and oftentimes subtraction is your friend. Having less, and if you emphasize the messages that you get and really work through those messages, you'll be further ahead than if you get a whole bunch of readings and get a whole bunch of information that then distracts you and confuses you from the original information. So my advice is that you take the information that comes through these messages and work with them. Work with these for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and really integrate the information, reflect, maybe spend a couple minutes here and there in contemplation, focusing inward, and see what kind of inner guidance comes through in relation to these messages. Oh, I think my inner guidance is saying, you know what, maybe it's time for me to move out of this particular situation. Or maybe my inner guidance is saying, you know what, I think I need to stick it out a little bit longer and, follow through with this opportunity or this interaction, this relationship, this opportunity to move to a different location, whatever the question is. So in the process of you slowing down and taking your time, your inner wisdom will really become more and more activated. And you'll begin to really see and perceive things in a new way that will assist you in the movement forward that is the best for you in your own personal situation right here and now. So rather than running around getting all sorts of additional information and cluttering up your mind, take the information that the personal reading gives you and really reflect upon it thoroughly over the course of days, a week, weeks, or even a month or longer. Really integrate that and see how deeply you can go with these messages. Okay? That's the basics that I wanted to share with you today. I hope it's enlightening and helpful. Take care of yourself, and thanks for tuning in.